I'll just say it right now. This is my new favorite drone. Hello Drone Racers, I'm Mark, and today on Drone Racer 101 we're going to take a look at what I think may just end up being my new top high-end drone, which is kind of strange considering it's under $200. The Furby Futon was considered by some to be one of the best drone options of early 2017. But this is the Futon 2 by Helifar? Who's Helifar? I think Furby might have changed their name. First off, look at this. This is just outstanding. They included a 2-page manual that really includes all of the information you need to get in the air. We've got all the specs that we'll cover here shortly, the features that you got in place. You want to see the flight controller manual? Just click here. How do you set up your receiver? Here's the instructions for that. Oh, details on the VTX? There you go. Everything that you need right here, convenient and easy and ready to go. So why am I excited about this? First, it's a Holybro Kakut F4 V2 all-in-one board. I love the Kakut flight controllers. That is part of what made the Kopis so great. I almost think this is a Kopis version 2 for $100 less. We have some kind of generic 2305, 2400 kV motors. We'll see how those go. Those are the one spot that I'm a little bit worried about. BL Heli 32, 30 amp ESCs. It's only 4S. I'm okay with that. We also have a Holybro transmitter with everything all ready to go on that. So really, really nice components on this. The transmitter will do between pit mode and 600 milliwatts. So that's really nice. It's an MMCX connector, which is really nice. Control the VTX channel and transmit power from OSD. They've already got that wired up and ready to go. RunCam Micro Swift camera. Up tilt from 0 to 90 degrees, we'll see. So on the setup page, it says it comes with an XM. It also says on GearBest website that it comes with an XM, but it doesn't. It's better. So enough with the specs, let's take a look at it. First, it comes with some crappy props. Yeah, those are crappy props, don't worry about those. Comes with a Pagoda 2 antenna, which is properly credited. Thank you, Martin. RunCam control board included with a really short cable, but it'll work. And then the drone itself, it's very light. It bears some resemblance to the Floss 2. I'm not a Floss expert. I don't own any of them. I don't know how original this frame is, but it looks pretty good. The frames are 4mm, feel very strong, feel very well connected. The top plate is nice and thick, which I appreciate, meaning that is super strong, and I'm not worried about the top plate breaking like happened on my Wizard. I'm not a huge fan of the VTX hanging out the side like this. It's probably gonna be okay, and it would let you top mount your battery if that's what you want to do. That actually might be a really good option on this. But it is made for a bottom mount battery because they even have the rubber in place, which I just complained about, but I pulled this back just a little bit, and that is super sticky. So hopefully that works out well. And it's very well designed to cover as much surface area as it can without blocking your access to everything. This whole thing seems really well designed. So we have the RunCam, and we can do from 0 as it stated to 90 degrees, and look how easy that is. I can make that change and set it to whatever I want, and it's got nice hex screws here on the side to hold it in place. Seems really well laid out with lots and lots of room to work. Motors are probably the biggest concern. They don't feel super strong. The magnets aren't over exciting, and these probably aren't going to be outstanding, but there's enough clearance also. I'm not worried about the motor shorting, which has been a problem here recently with several models. Those all look good. I really appreciate the little bit of extra attention. Do not power on without connecting antenna first. We'll get to that. The ESCs are on the arms, if you didn't notice. So these are separate ESCs. It's not a 4-in-1, which we've kind of gotten used to 4-in-1s, but these are individual BL Heli 32 ESCs. The top plate should be really easy to remove with just 4 screws to remove, so we'll take that out and take a look at the internal components. There you go. That is an XSR receiver. Now it is the old version. It's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit heavier, but I don't think that will be a problem here. This isn't a micro where we need an RXSR. I was planning on this coming with an XM or XM Plus, so I was going to add one version or another of an XSR to this to be able to get telemetry, but look at this. It's already there with dual antennas, and they have already wired up telemetry. It's already ready to go. Same deal for the VTX. So they've got the VTX here with the MMCX connector on this side. We've got the connector for the ports here. We've got power, ground, video, and telemetry all wired and ready to go. There you can see the gyro on the Kakut version 2 flight controller. It's all raised, so that should be really nice. The buzzer's kind of interesting. It's just hanging out here, but they even stuck some, I don't know what that is, some goo. We'll call it black goo. No, in honor of Bruce, we'll call it black snot. So they've stuck some black snot for it there to hold it in place. I don't know how well that will stay, but it seems to be okay. VTX does have a microphone in it, so that's nice. I like being able to have audio as an option. So I'm gonna install the antenna. We'll take a look at what they've done in Betaflight. Okay, so it came with Betaflight 322, which is fine. I'd like to have 3.3 on it out of the factory, but I'll take 322, it's fine. Now look at all the ports. We've got 5 of them, and we're using all of them? Every one of them. UART1 is configured as a smart port, so that is configured from the XSR. UART3 is also from the XSR, except for the S-Bus port. UART4 is configured for RunCam. So the RunCam does not appear to be wired for this. It might be capable of it, but it doesn't look like it's wired for it. We'll have to look into that later. UART5 says it's for the ESCs. Are they actually taking advantage of that? I didn't think you could do that in D-Shot. Maybe they're making stuff up. But UART6 is IRC tramp, so the VTX should be connected there to make you have full control of the video right there out of the box, ready to go. Now what I'm gonna do is make a separate video for the full setup of that. So this one we just wanna go through the review, we're gonna look at the components, and now we're gonna go look at some flight footage. If you wanna see how I set this up in Betaflight and set up my radio to work with it, that will be in another video that will be up in the corner right now or after I post it, depending on what order these get posted. This is the first time I've done this. I have no idea how it's going to go, but I've decided to separate those out. So if you bought one and you just want to know how to set one up, you can watch that and not have to see the review and filter through it. So now, assuming all of that works, let's go fly it. Okay, so we'll do a quick line of sight test just like normal, just to make sure everything works. It looks smooth. Get in horizon mode. Plenty fast. I put some Dow 5046 props on this. They seem not too loud, not too quiet, just about right. Oh, everything looks good. Make it smooth. Make it fast. I like the rates. I like the rates where I set them in the test video the other day. It looks really nice. It's not how loud it is or how quiet it is. Test rate mode, just to make sure everything looks good there. Yep, that looks good. All right, let's fly it. Well, I mean, like, you know, FPV it. So if you watch the setup video, I really appreciate all the information I've got on the radio. So now I've flown so many XMs and XM Pluses recently that I'm just not used to having any telemetry. So being able to see I have 4.05 volts left on my radio is really, really handy. I also use my radio to change it to 200 milliwatts. Which normally when I'm flying this, I really don't know if I'm on the right channel, if I'm on what power I'm on. A lot of these VTXs are not good, so I really like this setup just because I am confident I'm set up right now. Okay, so it is dark out. It's not yet sunset, but it's not too far off. So let's just do a quick little test down the strip to see how things are going. We're at 200 meters there. Looks good and smooth. Video's good. I need to turn my fan on because these goggles are fogging up already. Smooth enough I can... No, I can't do that. Not with these. I'm going to land and get that going. Okay, you can expect this to be discussed in a future video. So let's do range test again. Real quick, just to make sure everything looks good. Hey, look, my goggles, they're not fogging up. And the video looks maybe not quite as good. Pretty good. So we got a range test now. Did you keep an eye out? Were there any golfers out here? I haven't seen any. Not in a while. So these first battery I usually just do to make sure everything is okay. Make sure everything works well with the model. Make sure everything is adequately smooth. Power is good. Before I beat on it, I don't want to run into a problem. It's interesting, the 10-minute timer is flashing on me. It sounds really smooth. I haven't given it full throttle yet to see how it really responds. I haven't felt a need for it. I'm pretty happy with this camera angle for me. Some of you will like being able to have a 90-degree camera angle. For me, I'm really happy with this. Huh. Yeah, you've seen how well I do with a camera angle. Oh man. I think it's gonna be everything I wanted it to be. I love these Holy Bro flight controllers. Oh, look at that. Nice and smooth. Little prop wash there, a little bit. But I am on 3.2 just with generic dynamic filters, generic PIDs. I haven't done anything to this yet. And what's my flight time? 3.5 minutes. Man, 3.5 minutes. I've still got good battery too. I'm not beating on it yet, but I will say the flight time does seem to be pretty good. Now I didn't turn it off while I was gone, so it shows up in the on time, that's why it's flashing at us. But it doesn't show up in the flight minutes, so it did get a little bit of a rest during that, but it was also on, so it was drawing power. Gosh, and still really good. This thing is not going to go as long as the new King Kong 200 GT, but it seems to hold its own for flight time without any problem. This is a China Hobby Line battery, so this is a good one. I've got some good ones, I've got some bad ones, and it just keeps flying. All right, I'm gonna bring it in and try another battery and beat on a little harder. Okay, I've got 4 batteries. This is battery number 3, or this is battery number 2. So that means I can beat on this one because I won't say last battery and cause it to screw up. Oh, there are leaves on these trees now. How about that? Still haven't seen any golfers. Have you seen any golfers? Did I miss them? Nope, looks pretty open. I wonder where they are. It's a great day out here. It's like the best day of the year, but I'll take advantage of it. This could definitely handle more aggressive props. These are 50-46s, which I think are plenty. It could handle more. There's a little video. See that in the video? Just a little bit of breakup. I mean, not enough that I normally would care at all. There it seems to be a little more. Interesting. I wonder if something happened with that full out run, because I see lines now. Or is it this battery? Because I didn't notice that in that last one at all. I definitely see it now. Huh. Yeah, just after that high-speed run. Let's do that again and see what happens. This thing's plenty fast. Camera angle. I like this camera angle for this. Maybe it's just the light. Gosh, that's full throttle with these props. And I never got a battery warning. Oh, I thought I was going to put it in the water. Huh. I love this model. Wow. I am not going to power loop these trees yet today. I'm going to save that for another day. Nope, not even close. That was terrible. That was atrocious. Alright, so if I wish I had time to get gates out. Let's see how this does with gates. Simulate some gates here. So, not a great gate racer. No, I don't want to hit that though and break it. But I'm not screaming here with this camera angle at all. But for me, it's pretty good. I mean, if you watch this channel much at all, you'll know I'm not that brave or talented. Oh, or that brave. Nope, not gonna do it. But think about it. I'm gonna check it. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. As far as I can tell, everything's great, but I'm gonna do a quick line of sight on this just to make sure we don't have any problems. Oh yeah, it's good. Total arm, yeah, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. This thing flies a long time. All right, running out of time, so I'm going to try a new GMB 120C battery. Now, I've been warned about this, saying it burns up motors. Now, it shouldn't work that way. Your C rating means you can pull more power, and most of these should be able to handle that power, especially with these. These are 2305s, 6s, 23 something. So I would expect it to be fine with this. It's heavy, it's big and heavy and chunky and super C power. Don't burn up this model. I love this model. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to get dark out here. Sunset's not for a little bit, but soon enough. Oh, wow. So a little bit of video noise is about my only complaint with this. Very, very mild lines in the video. Just a little bit of white lines. Not bad at all. The video picture, I think, is great. I mean, a typical run cam, even with the micro. It's a 2.3 lens on this, which is great. I love everything about it. All right, so I'll just say it right now. This is my new favorite drone. And I don't want to ruin it. Wish I had a GoPro on here. Woo, woo, woo. All right, so yeah, boring old power loop. What else can we do? There we go. Let's see how far we can go until this starts complaining about my voltage. I was maybe it's not quite as locked in as the Kopis. Not quite, but it's really close. I mean, it's really close. Speaking of close, let's see what we can do with this tree. Come on, we can get closer than that. Nope. Ooh, not too high. All right. Oh, I love it. I love it. We're at 3 minutes of flight time with a 1500. And it is going strong, like really seriously super strong. Don't need a battery this high, this big. With these motors, it seems to be handling it just fine. How fast is it? I don't know. We don't have time to find out today. I'm gonna bring my stuff in order to test the speed. So we will find that another day. Prop wash? Oh well. There we go, low battery. At 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That's awesome. Oh, it's so great. So as I was coming inside, I found the video problem was actually my VTX had come loose. I've tightened it down now, but make sure you torque this down. This was very, very loose, and it hadn't come off, but it was very loose and moving around. I think that was probably the cause of most of my video issues. So make sure that is good and tight. I didn't notice it in the beginning, but then once I did that high-speed run, I think is when it just came a little bit loose. I am so happy the reviewer's curse did not hit with this one, because everything about it was just great. These motors, which I was concerned about, did really well. The flight time was great. It had plenty of power. It was fast, not quite as fast as some of the others on 4S, but it could handle more aggressive props. I'm sure the 50/50s would probably be just fine on here, and we'd get a lower flight time, but it would still be acceptable and it would be faster if that's what you want to do. Personally, I kind of like the 4-minute flight time. It's a good length of time where it lets you get out and do things and do some acrobatics, and for as well as I can do that. If you were racing full speed, you'd have no problem. I mean, this is not a top tier multi-GP winner by any means. That's not what I'm saying, but that's not what I fly. Most people don't need an Indy car. This is a Corvette. I've used that analogy before, but that's where this class fits. It's not a cheap drone. It's right around $200. It's $196, I think, with the included FrSky receiver. I'm definitely influenced by the fact that they included all the parts already set up and ready to go for full telemetry on the VTX and receiver. That goes a long way for me. And they just used great components all around. We'll see how these motors do in the long run, but they seem to do just fine for me. They're big enough that they can take a lot of abuse. By the end of the year, I think we'll expect things to be supporting 6S a lot more, but most of these that I've reviewed recently aren't going to do it anyway, so this kind of falls in with that. So the biggest comparison at the moment is probably going to be with the Hawk 5. I like the setup of this and the feel of this flight controller a little better than the Emax. I like that everything is all set up and ready to go with full telemetry, so it's a little easier for me as a reviewer and a flyer to fly that. If you are a racer, if you want to get a model to take multi-GP racing for the rest of the year, I would get the Hawk 5. If you are a backyard freestyler like I am for the most part, I would get this. So if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below and let me know what you want me to do with this next. It really doesn't need much. Some different props. Maybe we need to try more aggressive props. See how fast it is? Do you want me to try the stock props, which I just noticed are 50/48s? The stock ones they ship with are actually more aggressives. Yeah, I'm gonna try 50/50 props on this. Probably the Dow 50/50s and maybe a couple others because I wanna see what happens. Anything else you wanna see though? Because I would be happy to fly it again. So until next time, remember, I mean, it's that good. Seriously. It's just that good. Don't wait. These things are going to be gone fast.